Hey, what is up guys? TRNATS here, welcome back to the neighborhood. Unfortunately, King and Pack are not available as of recent, so I've had to do some solo content for the channel, so I figured I would do something personally favorite. I'm going to start off a little solo let's play of Old Blues Hoi 4 Tandy's Legacy 4.0, and I figured that it would just be fun to play something like this for the channel. It's just something solo, something a bit more technical than what we're usually doing, and I just really like this, so this is just going to be a solo thing I do, because truthfully this channel is to have fun. If it does well, okay, but here we are. I'm going to do something I like. So here we are, the NCR, because I really want to show off the NCR in 4.0, because they are simply really fun to play as. You are going to be stoked in my opinion. So, here we go. As the NCR, we start off with about 20 units.
Hello.
If it'll let me grab all of them. And there we go. I'm going to divide them into their different respective
What's
units. That should have grabbed them as well.
Yeah?
And boom, boom. Still feels really loud to me. God. I don't know. I may just have sensitive ears, but there we go. Alright, so starting this off, and let me get something better. We'll do a proper villain is what I really like. Alright, to start us off, we're playing as the NCR. We're going to do some research. Just if you don't know, it's just basically different technologies that we're researching so that we have it available to us later in the game. Our civilian factories are going to focus on just civilians. Obviously, I just want to have a bunch of civilian factories so that we can build like crazy throughout the NCR. Whatever isn't taken up will be arms factories by the end of all this. Such as here, here. And over time we'll get stuff, but that's for the future, really. But in the meantime, you can see we're also having the puppet of the Navarro territories. This will come up in a bit. However, by the end of it all, the election will be a little bit messy, to say the least. So we'll get into that as time goes on. However, at the end of it, I am definitely going to be choosing to side with the probably all good Murphy rather than the NCR's normal stuff with Kimball, because I'm just simply not that big a fan. But the NCR may one day not like the results of what is happening. We'll hope that they stay true to the bear and stay on our side. However, if I do President Kimball's vindication, it'll be a bit of an issue to really get any of that going. So, in the meantime, let's start off with the top of our focus tree, a founding myth. When Vault 15 opened in 2097, installers emerged to a changed world, equipped as they were with a Gek. They set about founding Shady Sands, a fledgling settlement soon to become a beacon in the wasteland. Life wasn't easy, however. So, we're starting off, we have a bunch of factories, as you can see. We're going to start, like, with 3 on caravan equipment, because you need to keep your logistics up. And we're going to just grab all the support stuff that we have. We're going to boost them up. 5, 5, 5. And we're going to grab our motorcycles, 5, we'll put them there, and for the time being, I don't really want to do special forces, because I'm not a big fan of normal special forces. We'll be doing something a little bit different in the tree that you'll see as we go along. So let me do this, let me do this, let me do this, and let me do this, and then the rest can go to the more difficult to produce. So we'll put these here, and I think that'll be good. For our dockyards, we're just going to make a bunch of canoes, because I don't very much play with naval. I need to be better with it, but I'm just kind of bad with naval, truthfully. And there we go. That is the beginning of setting everything up. So soon we'll start. This, I don't believe, is functional in the current version. It's the plan for the Hoover Dam battle. I believe it's just predetermined right now. It's a 50-50 chance. We can hope that it works out, but it most likely will not. We can also do the Brushfire Wars. We can rally support and appeasement with the Lost Hills chapter, which I'll talk about more later on once we start talking and having the issue of Lost Hills be more prominent and they're brought up in our focuses, because I believe they are pretty quickly, and we shouldn't be able to make appeasement with them through Allgood Murphy. However, Murphy may not be in charge forever. Just a bit of a heads up. But for the meantime, let us set our men under the command of two separate things. We're going to have our special forces underneath the leadership of of the commanding officer, Officer Brigadier General Thompson.
What's up?
And we're going to have our infantry underneath Alexander Drummond, which is actually a figurehead in the actual Fallout lore if you don't know who he is. Actually, I'm going to make the Ranger Command. And Martin will lead the special forces. I think our infantry will be fine because of their superior numbers. But over time I'll get them some stuff. But we're starting off a founding myth, Vault 13's hero. It takes a few days for focuses to go through, but in the meantime there is a bunch of stuff that we can talk about, such as the Northern Frontier, the 4.0 Cabs update, and Vault 13's hero. See, we already have a bunch of stuff going. First off, the Northern Frontier. Navarro is the last frontier in California. To the inhabitants, it's a homeland that NCR merchants and settlers are trespassing on. Into the She, it's a source of food and lumber. Into the NCR, it's one of the many lands to be tamed by the bear. Some worry that the NCR may have been off more than it can chew, and tensions are reaching a boiling point, but even as the She argue that so long as the NCR comports itself with justice and humility, progress will come to Navarro, which we'll make sure that it will. We also have the retooling firearms production, which just makes things a little bit more difficult at the beginning of the game. The Treaty in Vegas means that we cannot have war with New Vegas until until our non-aggression pact expires through one of us just saying no. We also have the Vault City Garrison, which is just as implies from a presence in Vault City. The Brotherhood hegemony, due to our mishaps with the Brotherhood, makes it so that we are worse with energy weapons power armor. We have the followers of the apocalypse in our lands. This is the tension between the NCR and Lost Hills. This is the state of our economy, and this is the Army of the Republic. Nothing to really say about, but Vault 13's hero. When Shady Sands was but a budding settlement, plagued by raiders and locked in a bitter struggle for survival, it was visited by a denizen of Vault 13, known only as the Vault Dweller. He met with Aradesh, who shared their knowledge with him on his quest to replace Vault 13's faulty water chip. While the water chip from Vault 15, Shady Sands' home vault, was piled too far under the rock for the Vault Dweller to recover, Aradesh's kindness made the Vault Dweller feel indebted to the struggling community. When a disaster struck, Shady Sands and Khan raiders had captured Aradesh's daughter Tandy. The Vault Dweller repaid his debt 10 times over, freeing Tandy and driving the Khans from the California for decades. Our run-in with the Vault Dweller's kindness and honor was a founding moment for the Republic, as without his bold assault on the Khans and freeing of Tandy, our fledgling nation would never have taken off from the ground. Over the centuries after his visit, the Vault Dweller's impact on Shady Sands would morph into the settlement's founding myth. Society would be forever morphed, but by what fundamental ideal? Debts must always be honored, no matter the cost. Strangers must always be treated with kindness. Self-sacrifice is essential to help others, or we outgrew revering a single figure a long time ago. We are going to say that debts must be honored, no matter the cost. Next up, President Tandy's legacy. While President Aradesh was instrumental in the foundation of this fair republic, President Tandy was without a doubt one of the most consequential figures in the post-war wasteland. Under her wise guidance, Shady Sands grew to new heights and the republic boomed in power and influence. Her thinking forever shaped the future of the NCR and the wasteland. We also have the Mojave territories over here, by the way, so that'll be important to talk about later. However, the Outpost of Liberty Over 30 years have passed since the heroes of the NCR broke the Enclave forces at Navarro, and since then, mighty pioneers have poured north to tame the savage land. Under the guidance of the Brahmin barons and Firgas Contreras, our people opened mines, scavenged towns, and built farms to feed a hungry republic. But not all are happy with our manifest destiny. Some tribals, unwilling to adopt the NCR's enlightened guidance, resist our efforts to civilize the frontier. She settlers from San Francisco refuse to recognize the authority of Redding's Rangers, and some whisper the Brotherhood still has agents there, working against the Republic. Time will tell if any of these foes could threaten our march of liberty. The bear shall trample all its foes. We also have 2 new arms workshops, which we'll add to probably just our normal infantry equipment. We'll start training up some basic infantry, even though they will not have the supplies for a little bit. We'll train them over up here in Sac City, and I think that'll be about all we do, really much for right now. We do have command power coming in very slowly, as we need to get quickly our advisors in check, which will take quite a while before we are able, however. But let's see about President Tandy's legacy. The Republic's golden years. Over the 52 years President Tandy led the Republic, the Union of 5 states went from strength to strength. By focusing the Republic's economy and workforce on infrastructure and agriculture, California enjoyed a thriving network of trade routes and Brahmin farms. The clearing of roads, rivers, and railways paved the way for the rapid redeployment of the NCR's growing military, allowing the prompt response to threats across Southern California and reaching north towards Redding. Backed by an abundance of renewable food thanks to GEC-created farmland and Brahmin herds, the population of settlements major and minor alike exploded, further ballooned by an influx of new settlers from across Northern California and beyond. Never afraid of using underhand tactics to achieve her goals, she bullied New Reno and Vault City into joining the Republic as autonomous territories and ordered an assault on Navarro that would shatter the Enclave on the west coast. In premiership, so abundant with successes and victories, Tandy's legacy has shaped every aspect of the NCR and the wilder wasteland. One side of her policies saw success beyond comparison and helped the founding Shady Sands state grow beyond comparison. It was either comparing, but not comparing, God, I'm stupid, careful nurturing of civilian industry, clearing railways across the waste, building forts in vital locations, or cultivating arable lands around settlements. We are instead going to be doing clearing railways across the waste, because that will give us an influx of resources, as you will see. 23. You can see that it did help quite a bit across the board. It's not much, but it definitely helps. But it's time to erode all beauty. Under Tandy, the Republic flourished. Under Tibbet, it stagnated, and when Peterson took over the reins, the Republic began to creak under pressure. Because soon, California may very well succumb to that pressure. By the way, before this completes, I do want to mention that we do want to keep a close eye on what all is happening over in the Navarro territories, because this will be quite detrimental to us, but we also want to keep an eye on Nevada, which is this general area right here, if you're not good with geography, because trust me, I'm not, but this helps. You can see that there is a couple of people here it could be quite an issue, such as the Sons of Kaga, the Rogue Rangers. Truthfully, we want New Reno to hold over all of Nevada, because they can be, in the end of it all, our best friend in Nevada, being a nice little alliance member. We can also hope that the Shi hold out and don't succumb to the weight of the Brotherhood hegemony or the elites. But as you can see, we just gotta hope that that wonderful little ruler stays intact. But time erodes all beauty. Stagnation at the zenith. Soon after President Tandy's passing in 2248, the new California Republic reached its zenith. Under Tandy, Shady Sands spread from the Pacific to Redding, from the Boneyard to the gates of the Mojave. Even the Golden Circle's towns fell beneath the bear as Vault City welcomed an NCR garrison, and Reno became an associated state. At home, Tandy's fierce regulation against wealthy ranchers, the so-called Brahmin barons, and rich trading monopolies ensured prosperity and support for the Republic and revived dreams of a better world. Tandy's successor, Tibet, continued the good times, and all thought the Republic's good times would last forever. But the fate of the Republic changed forever in 2253 when a caravan of 30 NCR citizens journeying from Arizona to Baker was attacked by raiders in the northern Mojave, at the time a desolate no man's land. President Tibet, following Tandy's mold of preferring diplomacy to brute force, was slow to react to the crisis. While Tibet dithered, opportunistic senators smelled blood, most notably Wendell Peterson, who demanded military assistance for the crisis. Peterson enchanted Tibet with the promise that the bear had claws, and Peterson's inauguration showed the limits of the NCR's progress. Peterson allied himself with the prominent barons and relied on increasing militaristic expansionist policies to win the support of the population, and as the Brahmin barons rose and the vast expansion of the military continued, the NCR started a haphazard period of stagnation. Fueled by baron and caravanserai money, the Republic entered a harsh cycle of consumerism and corruption. Sure, the Republic thrived, but it was no longer ordinary people, gaining most from the growth. In 2275, most of Northern California was run from Redding by the barons themselves, benefiting from NCR protection while contributing little of their own. The Navarro territories, liberated by the Brotherhood of Citizens, are a seething frontier, and the Mojave, well, as they say, the house always wins. Because we kind of, in the Mojave, have to answer to New Vegas, which is led by Mr. House. Expect a playthrough of him once his tree is finally implemented in 4.0 like it's supposed to be, but it's apparently just not complete. But we do have some bad things we have to deal with, such as militaristic propaganda made the Republic cynical. The military complex groaned and reached its weight, or big business brought in money, but hurt our politics. Truthfully, I quite like having a lot more money, but we don't have the political power right now, and it's very important to just build it up over time right now. So instead, militaristic propaganda made the Republic cynical. But it's time for what is soon to be one of the most important things, such as the State of the Union. The NCR has faced many crises throughout the decades, but has always managed to weather most things thrown at relatively intact. The Republic is not as strong as it once was, however, and is relying ever more on aggressive military responses to the most thorny of issues, which we will have to soon when it comes to the Navarro territories. Crises in California. Life in the Republic isn't simple, especially not for a democracy as cumbersome a problem rated as the NCR. After decades of decadent decline under the premiership of Peterson and Kimball, the Republic is facing a number of crises on many fronts. In the south, Dayglow faces off with raider groups along the Colorado and in Baja who threaten the blooming city's security and prosper. The Brotherhood lurks in its bunkers, and whether they will be a friend or foe is too soon to tell. San Francisco, nominally a friend of the Republic, pursues its own designs under the Shi, and the Barons continue to run roughshod over the people of Northern California. With the NCR distracted, Vault City and Navarro debate their own course. Between now and the 2278 election, the NCR will face a number of crises that it will react to, and when these arise, they must be put to the Senate. Who prevails will decide the fate of the election of 2278. Democracy and despotism. Democracy in California has remained relatively stable since the conception of the Republic. The NCR's democratic system is far from safe. Dirty money now clogs the mechanisms of government, and the lack of direct elections for president sap the NCR's legitimacy. And while democracy would survive most challenges at the moment, the 2278 still promises to be a pivotal moment for the NCR's future, which, this is where things really start off. It's really, are you going with Allgood, or Kimball, or really even Hayes, which I will be working with Hayes to a point, because oh my god, Hayes gives you such good buffs, but it makes it really annoying to fight in the election. However, it doesn't really matter when things decide to change. Instead, from a roaring economy to an electoral deadlock. I'm not going to look down there. I wouldn't keep it all fresh. This is Hayes' tree, which is very cool. I may do a Hayes run eventually. This is also the Mojave affair. We have to be done with the war in the Mojave, and they have to not be dead, hopefully. This is where we decide different, I believe it would be like doctrines to put into place, but I'm not really too sure. different just principles to put into place in the military. Specifically, we will be going down the mechanized bull, but I'll go more into that later. There's also Big Jim's Army, very important, as it'll very effectively boost your wonderful little support companies and demolition and fire teams specifically. As you can see, we do need a bunch of caravans still. We only have about 3. We're making 1 a month. We are going to take off from here and actually put those there because I figure we probably need those now. But democracy and despotism. The 2278 Senate election. The NCR may be different from what you're used to. There are no chieftains, town bosses, kings, or dictators here. Our leaders are elected by the people. That's right. Every state has the right to send representatives to the Hall of Congress. These representatives select the president and vice president to head the council and is their advice which guides the president's decisions. And the Senate election of 2278 will decide ultimately who becomes the next president. But Kimball is likely to remain in office, but he faces opposition at home. The followers are fierce opponents of Kimball and are backed by Governor Allgood Murphy. As he once put in the speech earning his name, we must be thankful that we have no wheels at home and can't afford another war. There's no crime in the Republic. There is no want in the Republic. There are no children in need of schools, no sick in need of care. There are no farmers who need assistance, no neighbors who need a hand. To spend as much blood and treasure as we have, all must be good. One of Kimball's other critics is Mayor Hayes of Dayglow, mocked for his old world blues. Hayes studies America's past, the days when a nation stretched from sea to shining sea, with an influence extending from pole to frozen pole. Hayes opposes the War of the Mojave because the resources spent there should have been spent to uplift the Republic. But indeed, Hayes is perhaps the only NCR politician who does not just respect House, but admires him. Still better than worshiping the Maxon dynasty. But it is time to really think soon about the motion of no confidence. We also had to wait for the hub crisis to happen. In the meantime, we're going to refurbish the bazaar. The bazaar has been the heart of Shady Sands since its founding. What greater way to showcase the prosperity and power of the Republic than turning it into a veritable shopping mall? It's just splendid, isn't it? As you can see, we're also producing our squad automatic weaponry, which is actually not attached to anything. Neither is our anti-tank. I don't believe it actually is for our special forces, but between you and me, like I said, we're not going to be using these handsome bastards. As much as I love them, because this model is so cool, I'm just a little bit more of a fan of non-special force, of power armor compared to special forces, but I never really have used special forces, so I suppose if it comes down to it, we can go down them, because I never really used them, and power armor is good to a point. However, we can very effectively prosper underneath the Rangers, which, I don't know, there may be a couple of Rangers that I try to gain the good sentiment of in Nevada, as they can join us, so that may be something to look forward to. But we do have to keep our eye up here, like I said, because Navarro will soon have its own little crisis, which will begin a possible chance for Allgood to think about how he can shape the Republic in his favor. In the meantime, let's talk about loudness, apparently. Let's talk about the economy mechanics. Basically, you have trading nodes. You can trade with different settlements and specific places to get money. For example, I'm going to make a trade route to New Vegas. I'm going to promote this node, so it'll level up and become more powerful and be able to do more. We have routes established from San Francisco and Reno. Boneyard is another set of a thing. It is from New Vegas. We are going to be trading to probably there as well. And we'll promote this one. It's Boneyard, Greater Dayglow, right here. It is trading between nowhere currently, but it's going to be trading to North Phoenix, which is under the lands of Caesar, which weirdly will trade with us, even though we are literally to be arch nemesis. And I can't do anything else right now because we're low on political power. However, we do have trade notes to the hub, which is our economic capital. And truthfully, will probably be bringing us in some pretty good bucks because the NCR prospers. And I'm just going to turn that off because this will give me all the notifications I need because I pay attention to it up here pretty often. So it should be fine. But we're going to create a trade now to Vegas. So as you can see, we're making pretty big bucks for the NCR. It's an economic boom, really. We are under the bear economy, however, or at least our puppets are, because we are under the complacent hegemony, which, thankfully, I can change around once All Good gets in charge. I believe it is somewhere around here. We can also have Brotherhood Diplomacy, which I will work towards. We also get the Environmental Restoration Act, which is very cool, the open door policy. Restore liquidity. As you can see, there it is. Begin waking the slumbering giant. We'll probably be working on this one fairly quickly. I won't look at everything unless we're, like, working on it at the time. However, because it's a bit more of a closed-cased thing. Also, I do want to mention, these videos are probably going to be much longer than you're used to. I'm probably going to do about hour-long episodes for each thing of Hoi 4. So, just be prepared for that. If you're in for the long haul, you'll get to listen to my lovely voice talk for about an hour. And probably die in the case of an hour. But here we are. We did refurbish the bazaar, and we're going to work on the selection of 2275. Walled City's council is choosing a new leader. A diplomatic visit to promote ties that will remind the fair city where their best interests lie. Because we want to keep Vault City under our grasp, which I believe is only possible if Lynette wins the election. I would have to look. It is, I believe, because this is under a second term. Lynette has won the election, and it goes down. They do eventually make the Nevada Pact. However, after everything in Nevada goes through, they do eventually work towards helping us. And I believe if New Reno is fine and is under Bishop or Wright, they will be invited to the Nevada Pact, which is fine because eventually they join the NCR, and New Reno is invited to the NCR. They're our two biggest friends. Actually, I believe they may just join it themselves. I'm not too sure. This is where you check everything. See, as you can see, Chop Shop expands. Under the seat in Congress, they will join the Republic if we go down the Department of External Affairs, or if we go down the State Department, we instead become better with Arroyo and Vault City. The Brotherhood goes to hopefully be peaceful, which will hopefully be fine. It would require me to be as Allgood or Bill Calhoun. I don't know. I'm planning on a different route for this one. We may eventually go down a more peaceful route with the Brotherhood. However, for the time being, we will probably end up not being the best of friends with them. We also do have to eventually worry about Colorado, and we have to worry about settling the Legion once they are taken care of. This is Calhoun's tree, by the way. Honestly, I am set on right now going for Allgood. However, to whoever may be watching the video, tell me what you want me to do. I would like to see what route you would like me to take. We're going down Allgood, so it can either be Allgood Murphy, Hayes, Bill Calhoun, or Moore, which is the one that I may or may not have planned to go down. But that will take time, so in the meantime, let me know what you want to see, because I'm interested to see what you all have cooking up in your heads for this playthrough, because it's you watching, you know, it's meant to be entertaining you. It's not just a me thing, it's an us thing, you know, we got this thing going on, you and me. So, it should hopefully be fine. We're gonna select a few more things. We're gonna have more construction speed, as that is pivotal. We're also gonna have equipment conversion speed and energy cell per energy cell gain per energy, right? Yep, I said it right. Let's go. The UFOs also would fix that, I think, because it may have been something else I had, but it kept showing that they were underneath the case of it being fuel gain. But we've sent a wonderful little reminder to Vault City and what might be good for them to do in this upcoming election. And Shady Sands power plant. Shady Sands' power plant dates back to Aradesh, but it's time for an upgrade. We can't always rely on the Hoover Dam, after all. Soon enough, after we're done dealing with everything here, I do have quite a bit of time just to work with things and do what I want to. And we will be going down the Bear's Roar, which is what allows us to go down all of our different paths. And that's another thing I'll ask for you to comment down below. Would you like me to do normal special forces, which is with the NCR Rangers, or would you like me to go down using POW armor underneath the mechanized bull? Because keep in mind, let me show it off. We are either the NCR with special forces, as you can see, or the NCR with POW armor, which is kind of really cool. I really like it. I think it's super sick. However, this is our model, which is, in my opinion, it's cool, but truthfully, not as good as the good old Special Forces model. Because just look at that bastard. Look at that handsome Ranger bastard right there. Do not look at those bastards. They are not as pretty. This guy is, though. Look at him. Anyways, jokes aside, we may start producing special forces, just in case of that. I'm gonna bring these down to that, and we'll start producing special forces. They'll be up here, and we're gonna bring you back down to 3 because we now have the surplus. We were at 100%. I want that to build a little bit more, but in the meantime, it'll just stay like that. We're gonna put you to 5 because we need a bunch of reinforcement. We may change some laws soon. I also want to know, who do you want me to really side with? I will try to side with who I can. Specifically, I believe I can really choose if I really want to have New Reno join. I really am hoping that Lynette wins the election. It may be a little bit difficult, because I'm not sure how all it goes. But we will have to see how all that transpires. Specifically, we're hoping that will go well in supporting Lynette's old guard party. It requires one of the following, which is all these bottom things, so we'll hope. But they've been reminded what would be good for them to do, so hopefully they'll be smart about it. Because we truthfully don't want the Citizen League to win, even though they're for democracy and not for tolerance. Yeah, it doesn't sound the greatest. I'll admit, it's not great. However, they do expel the NCR eventually, regardless of what we do. However, Christ on the following, this also requires Shield in Nevada, which is a member of the NCR. How do they stay a member of the NCR? Or how do they become a member of the NCR? Besides that, I'm actually kind of confused. I haven't played as them, so I don't really know how all they work. I believe they get to choose, maybe, if they expel them. Or maybe they have to go all the way down this first, and then join the NCR, and then they can come back up, and it's like, hey, now you can do the Shield of Nevada. Not too sure, because it also says that they need the Republic's advisors. So I'm assuming it may just be like something on their own. Not too sure. Looking over this, let's look over here and see new mayor in town. Slag all the way to Reno. Appointed a magistrate for Reno. Oh, they like take care. They go to war with people. Okay. I don't know, do they? Let me look. NCR. That's really it. Yeah, they go down the NCR under Lynette, but that's really about it, because, yeah, they don't go under it on the Citizen League. They don't buy us, so we're going to have to hope that Lynette wins the election. Is what I'm understanding for the time being. And the way that we talk, Aradesh was not just the first president of the Republic, he was a strong believer in the teachings of Dharma. Dharma was one of the great teachers before the war who prophesied that mankind's greed and folly would lead to the death and destruction. Only by following the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path could mankind avoid the endless horror of unchanging war. Understandably, the faith, mocked as a California cult before the war, flourished in its aftermath. Dharma's presence isn't as flashy as a ranger outpost or a Crimson Caravan station, but the faith makes its presence known through soup kitchens, hospitals, and its tie to the followers. For a single candle can light thousands, and the light is not decreased by being shared. Conquer anger with love, and lies with truth. That's nice, I like that. I quite like that a lot. In the meantime, we may start working on having better motorized, as our motorized divisions are kind of busted, and truthfully, I like tanks. That's it. I want to have tanks. But I will start doing a lengthy research for dynamite because we really need to get demolitions going. They're extremely important. We also will hope that the tension stays low. It doesn't go terrible. But here it goes. Capitol Hill has fallen. So there goes the Washington Brotherhood, possibly. But gang violence blooms in the Hub. The Hub is in some ways the epitome of the NCR's contrast. Home to the Thieves Guild and Underground, it's home to some of the richest merchants in the West. Recent economic development has attracted thousands of citizens to the city, attracted to the promise of a bright tomorrow. But not everyone can succeed, unfortunately. The gangs have taken advantage to those who fall through the cracks and continue to grow in power. Investing in Boneyard could be a long-term benefit to the Republic. Government intervention will help, or such is the price of progress. Basically, it just requires 5% more consumer goods if I do this, and I don't think that saying no makes sense. We're going to do government intervention, because I believe that it doesn't really matter, and we also get rid of chaos in the Hub, and all that. We also get Joseph Dodge and the Friendly Lending Company eventually, which are very good advisors. So, after we're done with the Shady Sands power plant, we'll start deploying federal troopers to the Hub. And as you can see, yeah, the Washington Brotherhood was annexed. It was these guys up here. As you can see, this is a bit more of a big place, and the cause will start having a bunch of fun soon, as you can see, as they are now at war with the Yakima Nation. So, that should be quite interesting to watch. However, deploy troopers to the Hub. We've only enjoyed a loose grip of our southern trade cities, and the dominance of local trade groups has become blatantly obvious that violence has erupted between smuggling gangs in the Hub. If we don't intervene soon, we risk a bloodbath. So, we'll intervene. This also gives us research for dog technology, so that's kind of neat. And now you can see, yeah, we will have a bit of an issue with the Navarro territories. All goods. Fury. Let me hide this for the time being, and as you can see, this is what I meant. The Navarro territories has had itself a nice little civil war. We are going to send volunteers there. We can send 9. It'll be a small group underneath our wonderful man and ranger. What's his name? Hey. Ranger Command Martin. Martin will be in charge. We're going to send 3 of each thing. Let me just assign them there. And then we're going to click up here. We're going to send volunteers under Martin. Boom. This will generate a 4.9% threat. Oh my god, it's huge. That doesn't seem like a lot, but when the thing goes up to 100 and you're taking about like a 25th of that, that's just stupid. Oh my god. And sorry if you hear any, like, pauses. It's most likely me taking a drink because I'm kind of really thirsty. Also, Chaos in the Hub does get removed eventually, so we don't necessarily have to intervene, but I really prefer to because I like to stop that before it gets out of the way. We can also go here. We can't really do anything crazy with our advisors just yet because we don't have any really good ones. We specifically want Rigby. Rigby is very useful. Oh, I'm stupid. I thought he was on this one, and I was just like, how did he get here? That doesn't make sense. We can also do lift business restrictions, which I would like to do. However, That's over here. You don't get to do that on this side, so I unfortunately will not get to do that. It's sad, I know. But in the meantime, let us look at our, specifically our army, because we probably want to make our army good for this upcoming conflict. I'm hoping, even if the Mojave territories falls, Oliver will join us, which makes our power armor better, so if you guys want power armor, he's useful for that. We can probably do Fletcher is what I'm thinking. Or supply gain and experience gain. Ooh, we're gonna do that. And there we go. It's time for our first conflict of this series, really. And we're gonna really quickly take out the free folk, actually, because we almost have them taken out, apparently. So we're gonna send a group of 2 there. We're gonna send a group down to push into this, to push into the Fusang territories. We're gonna send a group to wrap around. We're gonna send a guy to hold. Who is Fusang led by the way? It is underneath as reporter, which is not good, as I believe that is... Oh, they're not. We are still in holding with the rulers in charge, which I like. But we don't want the free folk to win, because that will give Eureka this entire area, which is not very awesome. It is not great. I will admit, it is not wonderful when that happens. As for...
Hey.
Oh, they're both going. I didn't want that. I want one to go to Navarro, if I can.
Honored to speak with you, sir. What's up? I've got you now. Damn! I've got you now.
There we go. They're doing actually pretty well in the push.
Speak with you, sir.
The issue is that they have a bunch of units on their capital. We may try to push with our special forces west into Navarro and then up to Cleon, because we want to try to take them out if we can. We're gonna have this guy go help. We're not gonna have too much of a very beneficial move going on. Oh, I don't want you to do that. We're gonna hold you here because they're already under attack. So that should be beneficial. And it looks like they have power armor. Not great, as that'll be a bit tricky to deal with. But I forgot the decision. Oh my god, no, 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 no. No! Oh, I forgot the decision. Okay, we're gonna have to roll back. We're gonna have to roll back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot. This has a chance to crash. I'm really hoping it doesn't. If it does, I have to stop the recording and refix it, which is not wonderful. I completely forgot. Decisions, decisions. Please tell me it's there. No, what? Oh, crap. Okay, I may need to pause and come back once I fix everything, because I kind of screwed up. I'm going to do all the focuses that we did already, so don't worry. It's just 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 1. It won't be difficult. I'll choose all the same things. I'll be right back. I have to restart this. Sorry, everybody. Alrighty, here we are. We're back. Alright, sorry, everyone. As you can see here, we did now do Rally Senator Allgood, so it is now time to work towards Allgood winning out, which is a bit more difficult, truthfully, but with this, we unlock some new decisions, such as Kimball's stoked militarism, corruption, and protections are eased, and eventually, just, you know, the effects of our choices. As you can see, same focuses. It seemed, I think it happened a little bit sooner, unless this was the 5th one. I think this was the 5th one. But I did not do Buster Emporium, which I think I may have done, but I'm not sure. But regardless, it's time to talk about rallying Senator Allgood. President Kimball's has long skirted around the spirit of our republic's laws. His violation of the Allgood Truce threatens to create a new, dangerous precedent in our democracy unless we remove him from power. We must throw our support behind Allgood. So, let's do it. We have to either A, expose blatant corruption, denounce his rhetoric, just a few things really. First off, we will do this, which is, I don't know, do we have to do this? Does this actually give anything? It just requires less consumer goods, which I guess is nice. There is one other change that I will be showing in a moment. We also have to provide concrete evidence, because this is like one of the more important ones to do, because otherwise he pulls out a bunch of bullshit. He can do stoked militarism, which will give war support and stability. He'll gain support. This will do curved corruption with overlooked corruption. Countdown to the vote of no confidence. So basically, we just have a bunch of things to deal with that we're gonna have to deal with. But you can see tensions at the frontier, our founding myth, blah 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 blah. You know how this works. I actually also haven't gotten the choice for the hub intervention yet, which I noticed is also different. It may be just a general range, but we'll ignore that. Before the start of this, I got an event that just gave me some political power because of the Mojave territories, so we just have our guy and a little bit more political power than before. Everything is the same. Don't worry. I swear is fine. We're just gonna hope that, you know, things are still going well here, which they seem to not be, as you can see. The Brotherhood is kind of getting an edge, which we don't like. We really don't like. But we'll hope that the Navarro territories will hold strong. We are sending our volunteers towards them currently. We're going to make a push against the Free Folk first, and then Fusang, which may make me just like do a smaller border along here is I think my plan, unless they apparently just take Cleon on their own. Oh my god. We are weirdly doing really, wow, they're doing really good. They're doing really good. They're like stretching down, but they're starting to get caught up here, but they're also, oh my god, they're doing pretty good on their own, not gonna lie. They're doing very, and there's the government intervention. We will do that. We will just simply have to wait quite a while before we can really deal with the chaos in the hub like before. This I think was the 5th one that we did actually. So I guess it just popped off earlier, because I don't know if there's like a specific time that this happens, like a specific date. But our volunteers have arrived, so we're just gonna put them along this border like this, and we're just gonna let them go. I'm gonna have our motorized push towards Cleon, and then down to Navarro. I'm gonna have one special forces push down there as well. I'm gonna have the rest just reinforce and make sure that we cannot be overtaken by the opposing forces. The rest of our army's up there. I'm not gonna put a trait on him necessarily. Oh my god, why does it seem like everything is so loud constantly? That might be a little bit too quiet. There we go. Alright. Let me start back up my timer to see how long this has all been going. I believe we're probably at about 50 minutes now. But it will be a little bit crazy. Hold on. I'm sorry to do this, start this, and this can run while I'm dealing with my own issues here, because I'm having a few things happen that I did not mean. Kimball moves to shut down the Navarro probe, which we cannot allow, because that will be quite, you know, not good. So, we gotta move fast to stop him from doing that, which is what we are currently doing. I will focus on other stuff later. I'm going to do this. We're going to do blatant corruption, and we will do focus the Navarro, because we need a lot of support. We get a big boost of support compared to Kimball, but it really just depends if we do good enough on our own, really. But we have a research slot, which I'm going to put here, because I think I was researching that. I may have a slight change in research. I'm sorry. But it doesn't really matter, truthfully, in my opinion. But then Navarro territory is just or the Mojave territories now just got Senator Murphy criticizes the Mojave expedition. Oh, In an attempt to win senators suicide, President Kimball's seeking to stoke militaristic rhetoric. Surely, a sharp speech by Olga denouncing such an autocratic move as the antithesis of everything the Republic stands for, we could surely gain some popular support and push senators to our side. So, we will be doing that, and as you can see, we are about to be kind of counted up, and with him in about the same support, that's the word. But soon we'll shut him down from the Navarro probe. We'll probably do about one more focus here, and then I'm going to focus on getting, that's about 120 days. So I have to count this up in my head, because once the election thing's over, it's over. This is how we've always done. Oh my god, I have so much political power. Okay. We're gonna put in different things. We're gonna first off do Ranger Jackson, which will give us army gain daily and research speed. From that, our cultural policies, I may want to do... not really. Not gonna lie. Not really, no. We're gonna do probably... Ooh, division organization. Special forces. Sheesh. That may be it. Alright, now we're gonna do that. That's just better overall on a smaller scale, in my opinion. I think we should do that. Why is this ranger not doing anything? You push on down to Navarro, friend. I want you to push down to Navarro. I want you to push around. If you can.
Yeah?
We're holding, and that's what's important. We just got Navarro, and that just killed them. Alright. Well then. Let me just really quickly reset this to be across the board. And yeah, that's very good, actually. We'll set our special forces to go down there and take out that encircled unit. We probably will not be able to hold them from taking the territories to make it not encircled, but if we can make the push before they do, that'll be swell. We're going to be using scrap trucks, by the way. They're way better in every way, in my opinion. I did not research dynamite. How could I? We have to make things go boom. How could I feel like a terrible person, honestly. Probably after we complete the Navarro conflict is when I will end the first episode of this, which this will probably be releasing on the 18th if I have to say a day, because I don't know. I'm not in the future right now, so yeah, just bear with me there. We're gonna have our forces hold out. We may end it, actually, after a little bit. We may finish this off in the next episode. I don't like to do it like that, but we may have to. But this will do the Navarro probe. So that'd be very, very good. And then we'll probably start just doing Hayes' stuff. Because I don't think that he'll be able to really catch up on us easily. That's 10%. That's no. Maybe. He will get probably a little bit more. We do need to do probably about one more. Which that'll be 150. Do I have 150? I do, just barely. Alright, swell. So, which one gives... Do any of these give more in specific? I wanted to do that because it would consume less consumer goods, but I don't think that will hold out. Because he'll get 10. That will counter that specifically, actually. This is going to fail. He's only going to get 10, 20, 30. While we're already in the lead. I think I can do this, and we'll be fine. And we'll keep, and we'll stay in the lead, which is probably what I want. Yeah, that'll be what we do, and then we'll worry about completing all of Hayes' stuff so that we get all the buffs that I specifically want, aka the... Oh my god! It's so good, but it's annoying because every single one of these I do, he does get more support in the election, which it's no longer going to be Kimball, it'll be a bit of a fight with the wonderful All Good. but we'll deal with that as the time comes. But as our forces are getting into place, and I'm seeing a bunch of weak holes, I'm gonna try to push into here and then down. I'm gonna try to push here and down. I'm gonna have this guy just go straight to here and around, if I can. It may be a bit difficult.
Honored to speak with you, sir. We're gonna tear them apart.
I'm gonna have this guy go down, actually.
Hey.
And I think we'll win.
Had enough?
I think is the key words there. Resource production, and we'll start. Do we want to start our doctrine? Not really. I want to start getting air tech actually, because then we can use CAS and all that. If you don't know what all that means, don't worry. It's not too important. We probably only need to take our capital actually. I'm imagining. Not completely sure, but imagining. I'm also gonna have this guy just go boop boop boo, so that we take Santa Rosa. Because that way we should divert their forces all around. And we'll hope that this wins us the election. If not, it doesn't matter. All good isn't the one that I'm going to keep in charge at the end of it all, but I will hope. And they're making a strong push for Bodega. Yeah, we should win. Yeah, we'll be fine. That's a win, almost definitely. And they're not even over here, so I'm going to just have him go back down over to Bodega and attack it from the side. And that should be a victory for the Republic. And I think that that will be the end of our episode. Oh, I have not read these, by the way. I'm sorry. Expose blatant corruption. While most senators somewhat regularly take bribes, there's a small group of NCR senators that do somewhat more carelessly than others. With pretty basic recon techniques, we should be able to catch some important senators in the act. By holding the threat of exposing more over everyone's heads, we might be able to bring some senators to our side. And we also provided concrete evidence following the breach of the Alga Truce. A probe was set up, spearheaded by Maxon senators to determine where wrongdoing lay. Now we finally found concrete evidence of Kimball's wrongdoing. If we publish it before Kimball shuts us down, it'll be a huge blow to his campaign. And we are working on getting the OSI and other things along those lines. I actually have to stop that guy from taking this. Nope, he just decided to just, okay. I don't know why he didn't take Santa Rosa back, but I'm not complaining as we are about to win here. And that should be about it for this episode. Yep, and that's it. We have won the conflict. We will not be pushed around by the Sky Reavers. Victory in Navarro. Ooh, and they're all cores. The She, the Brotherhood, and the Tribals all did their best to try to crush the NCR, but now we are firmly ensconced in the Navarro territory. We have proven once again that the bear never gives up its territory. Moreover, the conflict gave us the opportunity to cement the Republic's control over the region, strengthening our army. This is what actually happened before. No, it didn't. Oh, it's nothing, because they won't break against us. They just won't. Trust me. We're fine.
What's up?
But that is some more infantry. And these guys will be converted to infantry. Put here. And there we go. That is pretty much that. That was a fairly simple start to the campaign, I would have to say. But it may not be going so well so soon. As... no, we're holding up there in the She. Which I'll stay hopeful for. Because they can ask to join on their own, I believe, but putting knowledge to work, followers have long been the mainstay of the NCR's education system, but it is time to make a change. The Republic needs to put its knowledge to work to make the world a better place, and no longer will progress depend on handouts or charity. No longer shall society of equals hew to 1,000 different goals. At Hayes' urging, the Congress has passed the California Restoration Act to form the Office of Science and Industry, the OSI. With proper funding, the Republic will continue to walk forward into a better tomorrow. to proactive to practive thought. And with that, I will be ending this first episode. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Next time on Hoi 4 Over Blues, we will be ending the wonderful election between us, and as you can see, he actually failed. So, as you can see, we have won over in the crisis, as I had hoped. So, soon, a new hand will be on the tiller, and the progressive income tax will be a soon sure doubted thing, but I'm very much looking forward to it. And then, after the election, we'll take a bit of a moment to just work during the actual election process to authorize raids on gang headquarters, such as that. Just get rid of the chaos in the hub before we push any further, and then probably work towards the Rural Revitalization Act and do promises of peace and power to the best of our ability. Take care of corruption, which this will actually do quite good. Very swell, very swell. We'll work on getting support to Arroyo. We'll have an open door policy. Rangers will be reorganized. Mutants, it's all gonna be real interesting. But like I said before I end the episode, just remember, tell me what you guys want to see out of this. Who do you want to see at the end of this? All good. Maybe the wonderful leader of, I believe, Calhoun. Yes, Calhoun. Or more in charge. It's really up to you guys. Or Hayes. That's the other one. I almost forgot Hayes. So let me know, you guys. I will see you guys around. And thank you for watching the first episode of the Hoi 4 Over Blues TRNATS podcast. Yep, it's always a podcast, you idiot. Why would you assume otherwise? Alright. Love you guys. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. I say that so that it gets in your heads. And it also just really helps with the channel. Would appreciate it. But at the end of it all, that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed. And see you guys next time.